Well, let's discuss all the games that got a recent PS4 Pro patch. So the games that were not supported at launch. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and don't forget to hit the like button. Let's start with one of the biggest and best selling games of 2016, The Division. I mentioned the MMO third person shooter in my top 5 missing PS4 Pro games. Check the video out on the channel, but now finally Ubisoft's provided an update that will make the game support some of the features of the increased power of the PS4 Pro. What it will mean is not really communicated at the time of this recording, but I expect a 60 frames and a 1080p mode and a 4K mode just like on PC. I will comment under this video if there is more information, but right now this is it. Fallout 4 finally got its mod support for the PlayStation 4, and in that patch Bethesda also adds support for the PS4 Pro. What can we expect? Well, nothing special, just quote, Fallout 4 in 4K with enhanced lighting and graphics features, end quote, according to Bethesda. And as you know, the game can use some graphic features, so this is great. Hitman is the next game with PS4 Pro support that we will talk about. It has been a huge success this year with the continued support of new episodic releases. On January, the game will release on disc for everyone that wants to play the full experience and own a physical disc. Apart from the many updates, the game will, like I said, also get PS4 Pro support, meaning that it will add a, quote, whole new layer of detail to the game. Its overall resolution will be increased, while the reflective surfaces should be improved alongside more detailed lighting effects. The game's aliasing will also be reduced according to the game's developer, and what's also interesting is that the game will run on native 4K and will feature a, quote, clean and crisp UI, end quote. And native 4K is of course something we don't really see a lot with PS4 Pro games. We can finally play Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City on the PS4, but now the remastered version of the last gen games support PS4 Pro support as well. This means more visual fidelity and more smooth and constant frame rates, which is of course always great, especially since some parts of the game have not been optimized that well for the regular PS4. If you have a 4K TV, a ton of the PS4 Pro supported games gives you the choice between different modes. The following new PS4 Pro games provide this option, starting with Battleborn. The MOBA first person shooter from the creators of Borderlands gets 2 modes with the free winter update. A 1080p 60 FPS mode while the game is running on 30 FPS on the regular PS4. 4K owners can shoot enemies in 4K. If you're curious, the winter update also unlocks all the characters, so you don't have to do certain challenges to play as one of the many heroes in Battleborn. The Last Guardian gives you also the option to play at 1080p or 4K with big differences. If you play the game on your 1080p TV and on a regular PS4, you probably saw some frame drops. Well, on your PS4 Pro in the 1080p mode, this should not be the case. While the upscaled 4K mode will still see some drops, this is not as bad on the regular PS4 though. Really one of the games that works way better on the PS4 Pro because the regular PS4 version is just simply not so good. Firewatch got a ton of Game of the Year awards and some nominees as well, and also 4K support for the PS4 Pro. It will give full HD TV owners, quote, enhanced detail distance, higher quality shadows and smoother loads, while 4K TV owners get an even bigger improvement according to the developer. The game world will have a resolution of 4040p while the user interface will be rendered at 4K. Firewatch players will also see an advanced level of detail. Then last but not so least, Farming Simulator also gets a ton of PS4 Pro love with a 4K resolution mode, a 1080p at 60 FPS mode with improved draw distance, or a Quad HD mode, and that is 4040p with 60 FPS. It also adds greater clarity thanks to higher quality shadows displayed at an increased draw distance. Conclusion, farming was never this beautiful on a console. Anyway, did I miss any